Hey guys, I'm back with a brand new episode of Straight from the Source. And if you don't want to miss an episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. This week I chatted with I Can See Your Voice singer Heather Youmans. I Can See Your Voice is a brand new show on Fox, and I have the inside scoop of the show that is everyone's new obsession. And if you are a fan of the tap dancer from the show, Heather and I chatted about what she's up to now, as well as some collaborations coming that will be music to your ears. All of that and more, and it starts right now. So let's dive right in. So
yeah,
Your Voice, brand new show on Fox, currently in its very first season, and you got to be a part of it. Tell me how you even found out about the show in the first place.
so it was really the craziest story. I was at lunch one day back in March, I want to say, and a casting director called me and asked if I wanted to be on the show out of nowhere. They had seen my videos on Instagram and had become familiar with me and a lot of the work that I do. So I just feel so grateful and thankful for the opportunity. I mean, being a part of an inaugural season is such an honor.
Right, for sure. I mean, that's incredible. And I mean, I think I saw on social media back in March, you had actually posted your audition video for the show, but at the time, no one knew what it was for. And so the timeline then of you finding out about the show and then auditioning and then finding out that you had made the final cut.
Yeah, so I got the call back in March, posted my video then, sent a few other videos, and then I didn't really hear anything until the summer for obvious reasons because the pandemic. I got a call back and they asked me if I wanted to be a part of the season, and I said absolutely yes, 100%. Like, when do I start? And because I mean, honestly, before we shot our episode, I hadn't been on stage for months. And it was just such a amazing opportunity to be able to share performing again with people, even though the audience that people see on the show is fake. It's, you know, a product of technology, if you will. So I was singing for like 4 people, but it was still great. It was still awesome to be back on stage. Yeah, so we shot the episode. It was a great experience. Ken is incredible. He is such a nice person, and naturally he attracts really nice people all around him. He made it really fun. It was a really supportive environment for artists. And then I just waited, and then the episode aired, and it actually just re-aired this past Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So I was so thankful to hear that that was going to happen. Our episode was so special because the contestant won $100,000 at the end of it, which was crazy. And just to be a part of something like that, to help her daughter so they can get their dream home and so that she could start a business was such an honor.
Yeah, I mean, that's super cool. That even knowing that there was apparently only a few people in the audience, because you guys definitely seem to have such like high energy for only a couple of people being there. So that's super cool.
We're good actors.
Yeah, good singers. But for those who don't know, your episode, you were on episode 4 of the show as the tap dancer. And so a couple days ago on social media, I saw that you posted a video talking about why your parents put you into dance classes in the first place. So kind of talk me through your dance journey.
I'm so happy that you brought that up because it's a story that I haven't been able to tell that much. And I think it's really an important one for people to hear. So when I was around 3, my parents noticed that my left foot was turning in like super noticeably. So they took me to the doctor and asked what was going on. And they told my parents that I had this thing called fibular anteversion, which sounds really fancy, but essentially I'm pigeon-toed on my left foot. So the doctor said, you have 2 options. And this was over a series of visits and a lot of deliberation from my parents because it, you know, when your kid is that young, it's a very serious decision. They said option one was a surgery where they essentially shave the bone down because the issue was like my hip bone and how it was angled, and so it was causing my leg to turn in on the left side. And then the second option was put her in dance lessons and let's see how it goes. So that's what they did. They put me in dance lessons at Carlsbad Dance Center. I'm from San Diego, California originally. And I took ballet and tap class with one of my best friends down the street in my neighborhood. And we're still friends to this day. And you know what? It really worked. And I am a big proponent of dance as therapy because it saved my body, frankly. It really saved my body. I mean, I still have this issue with my left foot turning in. And you know, the other day I was watching the rerun of our episode, and there's this little sizzle part that introduces me at the very top of the episode. And I'm doing this tap step, and I looked really closely, and I could notice just ever so slightly my left foot turning, and nobody would know because I'm really good at correcting it because I know when it's happening, and I've learned and trained my body to turn the foot out. But you know, it's something that over time it just becomes a part of you, and it's something that I mentally feel like I've overcome as a performer, and it's easy to forget about. And the other day I was talking to my mom, and she's like, you know, you've come a really long way. And the fact that you were on TV tapping on national television is such a testament to your resilience. And so I listened to my mom, and I made that video talking about my experience, and I posted it on social media, and I was so overwhelmed by all the fans from the show that reached out to me saying that it was really inspiring. And I've had some young girls reach out to me and say that, you know, they're dancers too, and that I inspire them. So, you know, when I was working on the show, when I was rehearsing for the shooting of our episode, one thing I told one of the choreographers was, you know, if there's anything that I can do from being on the show or an impact that I can make, I want people to be inspired to dance. I would love for them to go and pick up their tap shoes and start dancing during quarantine, because in LA, we're back in a pretty much like mandatory lockdown, if you will, like only essential outings. So, you know, this has been hard on everybody for so many different reasons, at so many different levels. And just to bring dance to people at home and to inspire them and to share my journey has been one for the books. It's been an incredible experience.
That's awesome. I'm so glad that you were able to share that story, because I mean,
Me too.
Just hearing it when I was watching your video. I mean, I was a dancer back in the day, so I know I personally was like touched as well. And that's so awesome that you got to combine your two loves on a national stage, the singing and the dancing. So, I mean, that's incredible. But all that being said, the show seemed like a high intensity situation. So were you ever kind of nervous about not only having to deliver as a singer, but then as a dancer as well?
It was an added level of pressure, I have to say, because I was required to deliver in two different things. So not only, you know, bringing the vocal, but tapping on two different occasions during the taping. So I worked with some incredible choreographers. I love all of them, but the one that I really admire and that inspires me is Dom Kelly, because he's one of the greatest tap dancers out there. He's so incredible. He's been a professional since he was like 10. And so he worked with me on a lot of the tapping that you saw on the show. We worked together on it. He's just so great at polishing things and making people feel comfortable. And he just is a wonderful choreographer because he finds the right movement that fits the person. He finds what really looks good on you. And I think that is a mark of a really good choreographer. So it was such a treat for me to even like meet him and work with him, because I admire what he does, and he's a very good person on top of that. I worked with some of the best vocal coaches on the show, like 3 different vocal coaches that helped me through my songs and gave tips and, you know, really encouraged me to bring out my artistry and my performance. And, I'm really happy with how everything came out, and I felt so comfortable going up there. And it is really high pressure. You brought up a good point because it's a game show. And so I'm standing up there, and there was a moment before my lip sync challenge where my foot fell asleep up on the platform. Yeah. And I knew that I was going to have to tap dance. And I thought it was so funny that Yvette, one of these celebrity detectives, she pointed out to me, she's like, "You seem nervous." And I was really nervous because my foot had fallen asleep. I wasn't nervous about the performance at all. I was just like, oh my God, is my leg gonna work? But it was, the celebrity detectives and the music superstar on my episode, Pat Monahan of Train, they were just so supportive and kind with their comments. And, there are a few jabs like here or there when they're trying to figure out if you're a singer or not. But once they really find out that you can deliver, they're just so supportive. They said so many kind things to me that didn't air. But I guess I could share a few because it's just fun. I told Pat that I'm a huge fan of his. He's a major influence of mine. I grew up listening to Train. I'm learning a Train Christmas song right now called Shake Up Christmas because I love Pat. And, he just said so many kind things and encouraged me to keep doing what I'm doing. Ironically, throughout the episode, this wasn't aired, but he was trying to tell the other celebrity detectives that I was a singer, and he thought that I was probably pretty good. He just had a feeling. And then, after I did Youngblood, which was my elimination song, Pat was like, I tried to tell him, like, I'm sorry.
Like then having because you guys had to keep like a super straight face.
Oh my goodness.
No matter if they were saying good things or like, oh, I don't think she's a singer. I know my poker face personally is awful. So immediately. So was that hard for you as they were saying things and you were like, oh?
Oh, it was really hard because, Bob Saget, Ken Jeong, Yvette, Nicole Brown, Adrian Houghton, they're just so funny. You have so many awesome like comedians on that set too. So they're just like having fun. They're like having a ball trying to make each other crack up, but we're up there on the platforms and yeah, we can't laugh. So we had several reminders, just like keep a straight face, keep a straight face. It was so hard. But I do feel lucky that I wasn't one of the secret voices that was standing up there in like 4-inch heels. I know this girl from another episode was wearing 4-inch heels up there. I don't know how she did it. The fashion designer on my episode had to wear crazy heels. But what I realized that I didn't describe the whole process of the show. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to kind of sum it up quickly, it's a game show. There's a contestant that's playing to win money, to win a cash prize. And you've got a bunch of celebrity detectives and a music superstar who are there to coach that contestant on who they think the good and the bad singers are out of the 6 secret voices standing on stage. So through a series of challenges, these secret voices have to do, that's how those decisions are made on who to eliminate during each round.
And then you were eliminated during the lip sync round.
Yeah.
Right. And so, going from that, there were a couple different rounds, and they all seemed super cool. Was there one in particular of all the rounds, and you can kind of talk about each of them if you want,
yeah,
that you wish America had seen of yours that didn't?
Oh yes. So the lip sync was super fun. I honestly was scared that I was going to suck at lip syncing, and I think they could tell I wasn't a very good lip syncer because it made them think I wasn't a good singer. But as Adrian pointed out in episodes following mine, sometimes the best singers are not the best lip syncers. So I did that round. I was really excited for that because I got to tap dance at the top of the group song that we did, Valerie by Amy Winehouse. And then the next round was Unlock My Life, where Ken supposedly steals all the phones of the secret voices and shows a clip, just kind of unlocking their life and showing like different hidden clues and then the celebrities and the musical superstar and contestant have to decide, you know, which one should we watch, and after they watch it, should we eliminate them or not, or should we eliminate somebody else? So I really wish they would have shown mine, because it was like me tap dancing at home and talking about how I incorporate tap dancing into my own music as an artist. And so I record all my own taps at home, all those sounds. I've done tap covers where I break down like a Fiona Apple song and replace all the percussion and drums with tap dancing, and then play all the other instruments on top of it with the vocal. So it's a big passion of mine, obviously. I would say I'm probably the most nerdy about tap dancing, maybe even over singing, even though I've been singing for so long, and it's what I do professionally and as an artist. I wish they would have shown that. And my husband was in that video too. He's a guitar player. So I think he was kind of crossing his fingers that it would be shown, but it wasn't. So I was eliminated. I really wanted to do interrogation. Like, I really wanted to do it. And so what they do is, you know, before we go out, we obviously practice like what we would say. We don't know the questions or what they would be, but like I had practiced it and I was like ready to go, and then it didn't happen. It was kind of sad. And then the one that I really did, the challenge I really didn't want to do was Secret Studio, which is, it goes lip sync challenge, there's 2 of them, Unlock My Life, Secret Studio, interrogation, and then there's like the final reveal with the final secret voice, and then you see in a performance with the music superstar if they can actually sing or not. And it's either this like amazing collaboration or like a complete train wreck that's equally as amusing but also hilarious. So yeah, I would say interrogation and Unlock My Life would have been, you know, the challenges that I would have wanted to do. I mean, Unlock My Life, I would have been so nervous as they played my video on set, because that's what happened, obviously, because they watch it there, because I would just be like standing there, you know, and they're watching the video and then like dissecting it, you know. But it was an incredible experience, I gotta say, and I can't say it enough. Like, everybody on set was so cool to all the performers that were there, you know. There were obviously the good singers. Most of them are just professionals across the country, but a lot of them are from LA, naturally, due to, you know, circumstances. It just made sense. But the people that weren't good singers were really great at something else, which was very exciting to watch on the show. And I've loved watching, you know, the most recent episodes, because some of the bad singers are really awesome comedians, and they just really they go all out on their performance of the song.
Those are great. It's great to see those. It definitely seems like they're kind of ramping up a little bit. Worse than they are.
I loved Mr. Security. I forgot what episode that was. Maybe it was 5. I don't know, I'm trying to remember, but it was great. He was so funny. And I follow all the other singers and non-singers on Instagram, and we've all become really good friends. And we're going to have some collaborations coming out soon. I just collaborated, it's not out yet, with a few singers from episode 1.
Right.
And I'm going to be doing a live stream on Sunday night at 8 p.m. with a band and 2 of the singers from episode 4. So the phlebotomist, Angel Benelia, and Caleb Minter, who is the chef who was left standing at the very end. Because we all live in Los Angeles, so it was something we could do. We're streaming in this really safe environment where we each get our own rooms, and we're taking over like an entire recording studio. Yeah, it's gonna.
That you guys are like coming together, like obviously if you're not on the same show, coming together as like a little I Can See Your Voice family is super.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
because we were on the show together, but we didn't get to sing. Well, I guess we got to, if you count the lip sync challenge, we got to sing together, but we each had like solo parts in it. So we haven't really like sung together before. So I thought it would be really cool to get us together just to do some holiday songs and talk about the experience a little bit and like give fans something to like tune into and engage with.
Sure. So are you thinking this show is going to be something that's going to be around for seasons to come?
I really hope so. We don't know yet right now, but I'm really crossing my fingers because the fans seem to really love it. I live tweet during every episode and they love it. I mean, honestly, being a former Secret Voice, I'm on Twitter, you know, making my own guesses, and the fans find that really interesting to watch as well. So I sure hope so. And you know, the show is just really well done, and you know, huge congrats to Ken and all the rest of the team and producers for just putting together something really special for people to enjoy during the pandemic.
For sure, it's definitely. I know I didn't get to catch the first couple episodes, so I've been binge watching a little bit. I'm obsessed.
It's so good, yeah.
If you ever want to be on the other side, so the contestant, because like you said, you've been live tweeting, and it seems like you're doing pretty good at guessing who are the bad singers and who the good singers
Yeah.
are. So would you ever want to be that person trying to get that $100,000?
Oh yeah, I would love to do that because my guesses have been pretty good. I usually only get one wrong from so I'll tweet my initial guesses, and then I'll track my progress in tweets during the airing of the episode. And it's usually about a 5 out of 6 that I get. There's usually one secret voice that really tricks me.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a pretty good sum of money, even if you didn't get that 100,000. I mean, getting all those rounds would be a lump sum of money. So
Yeah, it would be pretty sweet. I've got to say, my dog would have lots of toys and probably go on a vacation, you know, when the world returns back to normal. I gotta say, but it's not as like as admirable of a cause as Siley, who, you know, is a single mom with a daughter, and you know, it was just so sweet to see her win that money. But you know, I hope that the show just leads like more special people, you know, to me. I just want to inspire, and you know, whether that's through tap dancing or sharing my, you know, my dance stories about, you know, dance therapy and what that did for my body, or you know, sharing new music. I'm just really thankful to have this show as a platform to continue to share my creative pursuits. It just gives me a lot of life and happiness, especially as I've, you know, been at home so much. And I mean, most of the videos that I'm posting on social media right now, they're all like shot in my living room or in my garage. So, and then I'm like creating music. There's so many amazing technological advancements that allow for remote sessions and stuff like that. So I've been doing that a lot. But I seriously cannot wait until I'm able to step on a stage again. But in the meantime, if people want to hear some of my music, you can go to Spotify, you can follow me, Heather Youmans. I have a new song out called Shine, and it was written as a love letter to my younger self. It's for all the ladies out there. It's actually for everybody. If you just want to have like some instant happy and smile and listen to something that kind of sounds like a mixture of Haim and Sarah Bareilles, then, you know, that's for you. And I have a new song coming out in early 2021. I recently revealed the name. It's called A Little Closer to Happy. And I'm so excited. I feel like it's the best song I've ever written. And I wrote it by myself before the pandemic, even though the lyrics wouldn't seem like it. Yeah, so that's coming out in early next year, and I'm just going to keep the new music coming. I'm going to keep the fun little tap dancing videos coming, and I hope to collaborate with more secret voices. There's a lot of like really cool stuff in the works.
yeah, it sounds like it. So with that new single, then what is that one about? The one that's coming out in 2021. What's kind of the backstory behind that?
So I think that anybody listening who's super type A and like a perfectionist might be able to relate to this a lot. It's about learning to not be so hard on yourself, to know that happiness is a journey, and you have to learn to enjoy that journey just to really thrive. And there's a lyric in it that I say, do I have to be perfect or nothing at all? They say that we all end up where we're meant to be, you know, blah, 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 blah. So it's really like a self-reflection song. I've traditionally not been like the biggest risk taker, and I feel like I'm coming into a really exciting period as an artist where I am taking a lot more risks and incorporating more tap dancing into my music and doing things that aren't really that traditional. And this song is kind of like the brainchild of all of that. I learned so much about myself as I'm writing music. And this song was definitely a journey, and it's come to mean something very different to me now, in 2020.
Yeah. Well, touching on your musical journey, even though your time on I Can See Your Voice went viral, I mean, everyone's watching it. It wasn't your first brush with a singing show on television. You actually auditioned for American Idol way back in the day. So, I mean, how do you think you've grown as an artist from your time on American Idol to your time on I Can See Your Voice?
You do your research. You're like the first reporter to ask me about American Idol in all the interviews that I've done about the show. It was very long ago. It was almost 10 years ago. I went to Hollywood Week. It was when Steven Tyler and J-Lo and Randy Jackson were judges. And it was just such a fun time to be on the show because I love Steven. I love Steven so much. He's so cool. And I love his music and his voice. I did that show. It was an awesome experience. I still talk to some of the people that I met on Idol. One of them, ironically enough, is married to Johnny Cash's son. I know. I'm like, your last name is Cash now? Like, what happened? So yeah, it was just a great experience being on Idol. But what I love about I Can See Your Voice compared to other reality shows is that it's not like your traditional singing competition, right? So on I Can See Your Voice, like when I was cast on that show, I knew that I was cast as a good singer, and that wouldn't be, cut down at all on the show. And I knew like what the ending was going to be for me. I think what's tricky with some of these other singing shows in reality TV is that you don't know if your elimination is going to be really dramatic. And sometimes you don't know how you're going to be portrayed or what will necessarily be shown. So I think that's what's really special about this show is that if you are cast as a good singer, it's very transparent, like how that moment will go for you, and they prep you to make sure that you feel comfortable and sound your best. And there are only 6 secret voices on the show, so you really do get a lot of airtime, even if you are like the second person to be eliminated. Everybody gets to sing their song. It's not just like some random portion of your performance that you don't really get to determine. I think it really puts a singer at ease to be on a show like that.
Cool. Definitely. Yeah, it definitely seems like while it's a high intensity situation, the overall environment definitely seems very nurturing and very good.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I saw in a clip for the show, you had talked about it being like you were waiting for a moment, like the opportunity that you got on the show. So now as you have this new platform and you're progressing in your career with all these new things you've told me about today, what advice do you have for aspiring artists as they're waiting for their moment?
I would just say keep going. Know that it's a journey. It's not a sprint. This has been, and like I said in the clip, a long time coming for me. I've been working professionally as a performer since I was 10 years old. I'm 28 now. I know that there are plenty of performers out there that have been working even longer waiting for a moment like this. You just really have to prepare. It's when all your preparation meets the perfect opportunity. That's when you can really find the success. And there's nothing more satisfying than getting an opportunity like this and feeling like you really took the journey seriously and pushed yourself to be as good as you could be. I was so confident with, my performance on the show, and I was so happy with how I did. I remember getting off the stage and they took me like, back away from the cameras, and I was just like pumping my fist because I did that, and it's a lot of pressure. Like I said, it's national television. So the way that I would perform at a casual gig in Los Angeles or at like a party or anything like that it's just so much more mellow than having that pressure of national television. So I was very proud of myself, like not cracking under that pressure and being able to like deliver the singing and to deliver the tap dancing at the same time too.
And you did. You delivered both, and such a wonderful performance. And I mean,
Thanks.
congratulations to you. And I am so looking forward to all this new stuff that you have in the works. I will definitely be following your journey. So thank you so much for speaking with me today. It was really informative and really enlightening. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for asking awesome questions. It was super cool.